Well, we have some more news regarding SNAP benefits because just the other day, the Supreme Court stepped in and they ruled that the Trump administration does not have to provide full funding for SNAP benefits for the month of November as of yesterday. I want to break this down because this is going to have a ripple effect through the USDA, which means our children are going to feel the effects if the government doesn't reopen very soon. And this has more to do with other child nutrition programs, not just SNAP benefits. So, if you have children or you're on SNAP, this is something that you need to know and you need to be well aware of because right now we have multiple judges going up against the Trump administration, and now the Supreme Court has stepped in. Look at this. It says, Supreme Court pauses order that Trump administration must pay full SNAP benefits. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, I want to show you this right here. It says, the Supreme Court on Friday night temporarily paused a federal judge's order that directed the Trump administration to pay full SNAP benefits to 42 million Americans for November by the end of the day yesterday. It says, the move came hours after the First Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals in Boston denied the administration's emergency request to halt the order relating to food stamp benefits to primarily low-income people. Okay, says Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson in the order on Friday night in favor of the administration pushed the First Circuit to quickly determine whether to issue the stay. Says the applicants assert that without intervention from this court, they will have to transfer an estimated $4 billion by tonight to fund SNAP benefits through November. Okay. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, I want to read something to you. This is the reason why it's a big deal. The Trump administration cannot just take money from whatever programs that's out there and move the money to SNAP beneficiaries. Okay? That sets a terrible precedence because that then opens up the door to then pulling money from any program and moving it somewhere else so that the Trump administration can achieve their end goal. So, listen to this. It says, in its emergency appeal to the Supreme Court, the Trump administration said it has already exhausted the entirety of a more than $5 billion contingency reserve, which was enough to provide only partial food assistance payments for the month. It warned that the additional $4 billion needed to cover the full allotment for low-income Americans would require it to dip into a fund designated for child nutrition programs. Child nutrition programs. Okay? What exactly is that? Well, I want to read you this last statement first, then we'll explain it. It says pulling billions of dollars from the child nutrition programs would jeopardize those programs' ability to fully operate this year, putting at risk critical food assistance initiatives relied upon by millions of children every day, and raiding a program that Congress did fund to instead extend one that Congress has not funded. So here's the problem. What is the child nutrition program? Well, it's actually a bunch of different programs. Okay, these are the child nutrition programs are multiple initiatives from the federal government. For instance, key programs: the National School Lunch Program. It offers low-cost or free lunches to eligible children in mostly public, but also some private schools. It also has a school breakfast program. Provides low-cost or free breakfast, again, to students in participating schools. It also has child and adult care food program. This is it provides reimbursements to participating child care centers, daycare, homes, and after-school programs. There's the summer food service program. This offers meals to children during the summer when school is not in session. That's a big one. That schools will actually pack lunches for children. The children can go to those schools, pick up the lunches, and then they can eat. That's huge. Okay? We also have seen many states have applied and sent out their summer EBT. That's another big one. Okay, where children that are at home, not at school, so they don't get the national lunch program or the school breakfast program, they're at home. Well, they get X amount of dollars, like $125 for the summer. It comes out to like $1.25 a day or something like that. So it's not much, but it's something. And again, that would put that in question for this year. Now, why am I bringing this to your attention? Why is this such a big deal right now? Well, here's the thing. The Supreme Court is giving the Trump administration about 48 hours. They say that for the First Circuit Court to come out and say, no, you got till the end of today, which was actually yesterday, to determine if you can send out the full payment, or actually not determine, but just send it out. The issue and the reason why it was a problem is because you're sending out about $4 billion and you're doing that within about 24 hours. That was the hard part, is the money actually there, and do these other programs need it? Well, to do that on a Friday, okay, on a Friday when many of these schools, okay, and many of these programs are going away for the weekend. They're not open for the weekend. So to try to determine that was a big issue. I don't know if the Trump administration wins this. I don't know if they don't pay the full amount, but here's what I do know. For these lower courts to come out and force the Trump administration to do something like this, it's going to cause bigger problems down the road, depending on how long the federal government will remain closed. Because here's what we're hearing, that right now, President Trump and the Senate Majority Leader John Thune both want to keep the senators in Washington. They don't want to send them home. They'll be back in session today. They don't want to send anybody home, because by sending lawmakers home, which is exactly what the House of Representatives has done, they have not been in session for more than 7 weeks. They haven't been in session since, September. That right there is an issue, because if lawmakers are allowed to go home, which they're still getting paid, guess what? It's less likely that they feel the pressure and they feel the pain. If you keep them in Washington, away from their families, away from their constituents, away from their friends, what's going to happen is they're going to feel the pressure, and they will eventually reopen up the federal government, which could happen this week. That's what we're hearing, that there's a lot of talk and a lot of movement. We could see it open this week. So we'll see what happens, but that's what we know as of today. Again, another update on SNAP benefits, because right now that and travel are the two things that are putting pressure on the American people. So as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it, but that is what we know as of now. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.